It's an Easter like no other. Non-essential businesses are closed and shoppers had to line up 6 feet apart at the supermarket when they were out purchasing food for their Easter celebrations. Due to the outbreak of COVID-19, family get-togethers will look smaller than they normally would, with Ontarians not allowed to gather in groups of more than 5 people. As a result, many decided to cancel their Easter dinners altogether as a way to practice physical distancing. Ottawa's medical officer of health, Vera Etches, said despite wanting to see her parents, she told them not to come for her family's Easter dinner this year because they are in the most vulnerable age category. During a virtual town hall meeting on Friday, Mayor Jim Watson had some strong words to share with Ottawa residents.
Normally, this would be a time for many of us to gather with family and friends. However, in these difficult times, this is, of course, not possible. I urge you to instead use technology like video chat or even a phone call to reach out to your loved ones.
Now, this Holy Week will look quite a bit different for the faithful, with Canadians continuing to practice social distancing as COVID-19 cases continue to increase. Churches will not be able to hold their Easter services. Many churches have turned to virtual masses instead as a way to celebrate. At this point, it's unclear when restrictions will start to be lifted and services can resume in person, but that doesn't mean we should stop worshiping. Karen Borgon from the Deliverance Network and founder of Catholic women's group Sisterhood said with people working from home and spending more time away from others, they should use some of that time to reflect on their own life and spirituality.
I encourage you to even more take this time because we have time of increased silence, less busyness in our lives because a lot of things are closed and we're not able to be in our normal routines. We all have an increased amount of time for prayer. We have an increased amount of time for reflection. We have an increased amount of time for an examination of conscience and perhaps preparation to go make a confession, especially if you have not made a confession in a very, very long time as a Catholic, or perhaps as a non-Catholic you have never made a confession.
For kids, Easter is a time about chocolate and visits from the Easter Bunny, and that won't change with the times we are in. The Barrhaven Food Cupboard received a generous donation of Easter candy, which was distributed to families who are struggling during this time. And government officials from all around the world have deemed the Easter Bunny an essential service, including Ontario's Premier Doug Ford.
You'll be pleased to know that we do consider both the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny to be essential workers. But as you can imagine at this time, of course, they're going to be potentially quite busy at home with their family as well and their own bunnies. And so I say to the children of New Zealand, if the Easter Bunny doesn't make it to your household, then we have to understand that it's a bit difficult at the moment for the bunny to perhaps get everywhere.
Whereas this time of year, there's a special visitor who leaves surprises in homes to celebrate spring and new life. And whereas I'm pleased to announce the Easter Bunny is an essential worker and is given full authority to hop around through town.
I will personally speak to Scott Morrison today about ensuring that the Easter Bunny is declared an essential worker during these times so that he can deliver to you at Bilgola this Easter. But not just to you, Jessica, to all 9-year-olds across the Northern Beaches.
Businesses which have been deemed an essential service, like grocery stores, decide to close their doors on Good Friday and Easter Sunday as a way to give their employees some time off of work. They have been working around the clock for over 5 weeks trying to adapt to this new normal. On Saturday, long lineups were reported at many stores with people going out to pick up last-minute supplies. Dollar stores reported long lines with parents racing to buy last-minute Easter candy, and Toys R Us was busy with their online orders and pickup services as grandparents picked up last-minute gifts. On Easter Sunday, 37 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in Ottawa, a number which is expected to climb in the coming days. At this point, health officials have no idea when the virus will hit its peak and when life will return back to normal. This Easter season, many are just thankful for their health, recognizing many others aren't as lucky. Charlie Cenac, WIN News, Ottawa.